AITA for stealing ducks from small children. Info, by hijacked, do you mean you threw down seed to encourage them to waddle over to your side of the pond? NTA, you diverted the ducks away from what could have been a bad scene. To be honest, that kind of politeness is the most annoying part of the British culture. NTA, parents should always teach kids to be respectful to animals. NTA. Rescuing the ducks from a group of little twits can hardly be considered assholery. NTA for the ducks preferring someone quiet and offering them food over screaming kids running at them. If the parents are smart, they'll come back and instruct the kids to be calm and quiet, and maybe they can have their company. NTA. And good for you for helping the ducks. Hard NTA. We have a restaurant here with a really big pond out front and just so many ducks. They stay there the entire year because the guests feed them. The restaurant provides seed for you so the guests aren't giving them bread and other stuff that is bad for them. The ducks will walk right up to your feet, no problem. Anyway, they have signs posted all over the area saying please do not chase or yell at the dicks, it stresses them out. Unfortunately, some people refuse to reprimand their kids' crappy behavior, but most of the time it's all right. NTA. Those kids suck and their parents are worse. The other day I was out walking and rerouted myself to avoid an on-edge swan. On the way back, adults were allowing their small children to approach the same swan. 2 ran away when it started to get agitated, but the third kid, who was old enough to know better, kept going toward it, and God, how I wished it had just launched itself at him to maybe teach them all a lesson. NTA. And as a Canadian, I just want to say that had a group of children been acting that way around Canada geese, this story would have had a much different ending. LMAO, as a British person, this was the complete right thing to do. NTA. And if the children do approach you about stealing the ducks, educate them, because the parents clearly won't. You're not duck stealing, you're duck saving. NTA. Thank you for rescuing the ducks. Also, since when is feeding ducks an aged activity? I really have nothing to say other than I really laughed while reading this and loved this story. Thanks for posting. Duck stealing, mother of the brats, and bloody cheeky, all gold, ha. I was prepared for the worst. Too funny. You get an upvote just for the unsolicited duck pic comment alone. Also, NTA. Kids should indeed be taught not to run after, or otherwise harass animals. I think you should have said something to them. Obviously not about the ducks, but if you'd waved and said lovely day, isn't it, you probably could have shamed them into leaving. NTA. I hate it when kids do this and their parents let them. Good on you, OP, for protecting those little guys and gals. Ducks can and will attack if threatened, same as geese and swans, so you more than likely saved the ducks from an angry parent too. NTA. I've stolen many ducks from kids being too boisterous. Also UK based, defo love feeding ducks oats and people look at me like I'm weird for not having bread. NTA. Also quite possibly the most wholesome AITA. I especially love the duck and geese photos, thank you for brightening my morning. I do wish the parents had parented properly and taught their children to not yell at the ducks or demand they do something. What happens when the ducks just do duck things and the kids are disappointed? Will they yell more or just get bored? Hopefully they'd just get bored, but sometimes kids, and adults, get upset and escalate things. You did the right thing by offering the ducks a way out of the situation. Also, maybe please tell the nice duckies hello from across the pond for me. They seem like good ducks and I miss being near a duck pond. I'm British and this is my favorite AITA ever. NTA. LOL, your fellow Brits have gathered to pass judgment upon you, sir/ma'am. It's a solid enta from me, shame it wasn't some swans, vicious little things they are. One little bite from them and those whippersnappers will be running crying back to their mum and learn it, don't mess with them. WTF, NTA, how could anyone think you were tough for rescuing the ducks from a kid harassing them? If they want their kids to interact with wildlife, they need to learn how to behave around wild animals. NTA, but those duck pics are absolutely solicited. You did good. Saving the ducks from ignorant people and kids. We have a local pond and one duck was super people friendly. I made friends when I was pregnant and hand fed him. I got Angira people trying to do the same and getting needled on. Was always amusing. Unsolicited duck pic. I see what you did there. Cheeky, indeed. EDA, NTA. NTA, it would suck if one of the kids accidentally hurt a duck with their weird behavior. The mom should have controlled her children and taught them how to respect wildlife. No one owns wildlife anyways, so you can't steal the ducks. This is the most wholesome r/AITA post I've seen since joining this community. All of the responses, including yours, have been so wholesome and heartwarming to read. This was a good way to start my day. Obviously NTA, and thanks for saving the ducks from harassment. I second the suggestion that you talk to someone about putting up "Do not harass/chase the ducks" signs. I'm sure the ducks would appreciate it. Read all of this with a British accent 10/10 would do. Again, you're not the asshole. NTA, those children might have been seriously hurt if they aggravated the ducks. NTA, maybe you should have added something about being kind to animals in the proper British way. Ah, the good OLE passive-aggressive loud comment, integral to British society. Often marked by a clear "you're welcome" when someone does not thank you for opening a door, stepping aside, etc. I am particularly fond of this. However, in this, you are NTA, ducks are communal property and they have free will. Info: did you properly tut at the parents? This directly influences my take on the situation. Unsolicited duck pic: ya funny bugger / laughs in British / NTA, they had their turn. NTA, I can't stand it when people run at waterfowl. You did a good thing. NTA. Steal those ducks? NTA, the Council of Ducks made their decision. You are clearly the chosen one. Also, this post was incredibly wholesome. That's not duck stealing, that's duck saving. Good on you, mate, NTA. This should be under r/entitled parents instead, to call out that mum who thinks ducks exist only for her kids to torment. Upvote for unsolicited duck pic. I came here for the unsolicited duck pic. Regarding the politeness, I could never be British, you guys would destroy me. Somehow wondering if someone is talking shit about me is worse than any actual confrontation. Anyway, NTA. Thing is, even if the thread starter wasn't there at all, the ducks were not going to be hanging around the kids when they were yelling or running at them. That was ducking clever of you, mate. Good on ya. NTA. I would have went up to the mother and probably got into an argument with her about teaching her kids to be kind to animals. Unsolicited duck pic. Despite knowing this story was about ducks, my brain still did not quite read this correctly. Had a good laugh when I realized this was also about ducks and not something NSFW. I think you're NTA because the ducks are going to go wherever they please, and the children harassing the animals was not only annoying to the animals, but to anyone overhearing them scream. It's quite silly for their mother to see your actions as cheeky. NTA. Look, I quite literally have ducks in my backyard, someone's whim of the moment that became a trio of ducks in my care, and they go to whom and to where they choose. One does not attempt to interfere with the will of the ducks. NTA. I was at Edinburgh Zoo 2 years ago and my friend saw a kid harassing the penguins, so told the mum. It was so cute seeing him defend the honor of the land burbs. NTA, don't harass the duckies or you lose ducky privileges. These kind of AITA posts are a nice refresher from all the drama you see here. NTA, kids shouldn't harass animals. 11/10 unsolicited duck pic 2. Info, did you tut at them? I think the ducks are capable of making choices, even if they can't make fussed faces, and if there's an option where people aren't screaming at them, they'll vote with their webbed feet. NTA. NTA LOL, I love this. The parents shouldn't teach their kids it's okay to be AHS to the wildlife. That edit LOL. NTA, take care of the ducks. NTA at all. Thank you for taking care of the ducks. As far as I'm concerned, there is no such thing as an unsolicited duck pic. They're always wanted. NTA, thank you for the ducks. Can't stake a duck that doesn't want to be stolen. NTA. I love ducks. NTA. Children need to be taught not to treat animals as toys. One time when my son and I were at a park, a girl a little older than my son was chasing a bird all over the place. The adult with the girl, maybe grandfather, was just calmly watching. My son asked if he could chase the bird too. Somewhat loudly, I told him no, we don't chase wild animals. It scares them and it's mean. The most British post to ever Brit. AITA. As a friend of mine from the UK would say, what a bunch of wonkers, NTA. NTA. This gave me a good laugh, though. What a petty woman. Train your children better. NTA. But mostly I just wanted to post to say thanks for the pics on your profile, ducks and geese both. But also, not your fault the kids were being asses to the ducks. It's like when you seeing a kid harassing a cat or dog and eventually they lash out, not the animal's fault, they generally make it pretty clear they don't want to chat. NTA. You're better than me, I've gotten in multiple shouting matches over this behavior, and I am generally British and polite. My area is full of beautiful nature, it makes me very upset when people abuse it. You simply non-confrontationally ended a bad situation that could have harmed an animal. NTA. By the way, this post is so British you've made me homesick. From a Brit abroad. Not only are you NTA, but this thread had been full of comedy gold. One time I was at a crowded beach where a kid was aggressively holding a duck in his hands while it was obviously freaking out trying to get away. No one was doing anything. I'm a loud-ass American and an animal lover, so I just look at the kid and yell from 20 feet away, "Hey you, put that duck down now, you're obviously hurting it." Kid looked back at me like he had never heard anyone with authority speak to him before and put the duck down. I was fuming for the rest of the day. Poor ducky. Come on now. You know the answer to this. NTA. But for anyone reading this, don't feed ducks bread, it's very bad for them and can kill them. It doesn't really provide them with nourishment but does make them full. Better foods are veggies, cooked potatoes, fruits, seeds, etc. Or bird food from the store. This is crazy to me, LOL, I'm from the US and nobody would think twice about stealing ducks. We'd probably just start making small talk and feed them together, or just throw the food in the middle between us. Or they would have directly said something to the parents about the kids treating the ducks badly, more than likely. NTA, the kids were screaming at the ducks. I'd have told her to control her banshee then. Also British. NTA. NTA, and good on ya for looking out for the ducks. I'm a big animal lover and it hurts my whole being when I hear about the abuse of a poor critter. Also, the ducks, thank you for looking out. The parents should have told the kids to be nice to the ducks and explain that ducks are not there for their entertainment. Respect animals always. Unsolicited duck pic on my profile. NTA because you were kind to the ducks, and doubly so for leaving this amazing twist of verse. NTA. What the bloody hell is wrong with these parents when their kids lose the plot and yet they have a problem with you? Sure, you're duck hijacking, British not American style, phew. Definitely threw a spanner in the works. But those kids need a lesson or two. But mate, best of British if you run into that flock again, and I'm not talking about the ducks. After spending time in Finsbury Park, I always thought it was funny how polite the British supposedly are but how badly behaved their children are around waterfowl. NTA. NTA, this was a prime opportunity for the parents to make this a lesson for their kids. If they want to feed wild animals, being quiet and still will always win over loud and boisterous, plus new food helps. NTA. Kids need to learn how to properly treat animal. NTA, you provided the required unsolicited duck pic. NTA. We must protect the ducks. They are the wild version of the purity dogs bring to our lives. Also thank you for the unsolicited duck pics. LOL, NTA, keep stealing ducks from poorly behaved/managed children. NTA. The ducks don't belong to anyone? So, if you want to get the ducks even if it was just for fun it would still be a NTA post. NTA. Thank you for saving the ducks, kind stranger. Quack, quack. NTA, the ducks made their choice. NTA. I walking by a pond once and this little boy started chucking stones at some ducks. I roared at him, stop that. You don't see them throwing stones at you, do you? NTA, this is painfully British. That being said, I've done this before. Definitely NTA. People who lack empathy towards animals are disgusting, selfish, and infantile. You did the right thing. Perhaps a polite word in their ear next time, informing them that ducks are not robots, and they have nervous systems and stressors just like human beings might help, though I doubt it. NTA. You are the duck hero. Small children need to be closely monitored around animals most of the time because they are not very gentle or kind without parental intervention. Instead, the parents allowed their children to chase the ducks and harass them, which is an unfair stressor to innocent creatures. NTA. Also, your pictures are really good, OP. Is that on a phone, or do you have a camera you like? Apologies if this is not appropriate for this sub. NTA. You helped some lil duckies get away from some kids who were mistreating them. NTA. This made me laugh. I got a very entertaining mental image when someone said, did you go over there and wrap the ducks in a picnic blanket and sneak them back to your side of the pond? I hate when kids do this crap. Good for you. NTA. Au contraire, you're a goddamn hero. Ducks are extremely aggressive when cornered. Mom should have known better than to let her kids run after what are essentially wild animals. I mean, you didn't steal the ducks. You gave the ducks another option of still eating without having to deal with her obnoxious children. It's not your fault the ducks decided they didn't like her or her family. NTA, and I am glad you mentioned that you were feeding seed to the ducks. Here in the US we have a terrible bird obesity problem because people still insist on feeding them nasty old bread. NTA. For me, the best AITA thread I've read in a long while that didn't sound like a Jerry Springer segment. NTA, I, for one, am happy to see Brits graduating to stealing ducks instead of countries. Unsolicited duck pic on my profile. Well, that phrase made my day. Also, NTA. ENTA, 1. It's public space so you can do what you want within the laws. 2. I am not sure how this is stealing. Like anyone is allowed to throw food down. Not sure why they are complaining other than entitledness. Plus they were harassing the ducks.